Robbie, welcome to Milton Keynes Dons. How pleased are you to be here and take up the position of assistant head coach?
Yeah, very, very pleased to be here. It's a club from the outside, looks a really good structured club. It gives the chance for managers and coaches to be successful. And my first day here sort of backed that up. It's been enjoyable. Back on the grass with the players is where I enjoy to be, and supporting Mark and the rest of the staff in any way that I can.
How did the move come about? I know from speaking to Mark, your paths hasn't crossed professionally before. So how did this move come about, and why do you think MK Dons was the right next step for you?
Yeah, well, football's a village really. Everybody knows each other, and we have a mutual friends that sort of got us to speaking, if you like. And I spoke with Mark on numerous occasions on the phone. Came down at the weekend to meet everybody, taking the game against Lincoln, and I see a lot of strengths in him in terms of the managers that I've worked under. He's got the same attributes. He's very driven. He wants success, which we all do. And I think I can help him with that in terms of who I've worked under before, the roles I've had before. So to be that sounding board for him and support him and challenge everybody within the club, I think that's going to be really important.
You touched on Mark, obviously his first managerial role at senior level. Something you've got experience of stepping into, obviously from your time at Rochdale, so as well as your playing experience, your coaching experience, you'll also understand what he's going through in these early stages of adapting to life as a full-time head coach.
Yeah, definitely, but in fairness, Mark's got a lot more support around him than what we had at Rochdale, and I felt that I did a decent job there, keeping them in the division with all the issues that they had and bringing money in for transfers. This is a different setup. This is something different that we need to make sure that we pick up some results quickly. It's a good week to come into with the 3 games, but we need to make sure that we get the recruitment right as well, and if I can help in those aspects, then that's really important.
You've obviously had a long career in the game. Can you just talk about your journey to this point, from your playing days through to stepping into coaching to where you are now?
How long have you got? So obviously, as a player coming through at Middlesbrough, played at every level, international football, played under some top managers, lots of actually England managers in Steve McLaren and Terry Venables, people like that. And then moved into coaching quite early, 29, 30 years old, through injury, academy manager at Grimsby, a really good grounding, started at the bottom rung of the ladder, moved into the academy at Sunderland, had some good years there, and then progressed to the first team. Now I was first team coaching assistant under managers like Sam Allardyce, David Moyes, Chris Coleman. So had some really good times there. Moved on to Hibernian to assist Paul Heckingbottom. Again, really enjoyed that experience. And then most recently, working with Sam again at West Brom in the Premier League. Took my own steps into management at Rochdale. Again, massive learning curve. And most recently being in the Championship with Hull City, just helping out Andy Dawson in his interim. And most recently, actually, away with the Welsh women's team. So all really good experiences, all sort of different and learning aspects to it, and it makes me a better coach to support Mark and the rest of the staff.
We were having a chat off camera about your experiences of playing against MK Dons at the hockey stadium for Hull. So what are your memories of that day?
It was cold. I remember it being freezing cold. I won't tell you what the password is for the Wi-Fi in here, but it was quite an unusual sight running down the wing to see what we saw on the side there. But yeah, the club's come a long way. It's come a long way, and the exciting bit for me, I've had opportunities to get back into the game since I've been out, both as a manager, as a coach, both in this country and abroad, and it just wasn't the right fit. The job after Rochdale needed to be right for me. I needed to go into something which I think I can make a success of, and this was the one that sort of got all those boxes ticked, if you like. And I know we find ourselves in a difficult position, but I've seen enough on video on the game on Saturday, in my very brief moment on the pitch with the boys this morning, that we've got enough ability. If we can add some quality to help that, and some physicality as well, I think we'll have a strong finish to the season.
Yeah, Mark's been very strong on that. Yes, he's acknowledged that we do need to bring some players in this month, and that work started, but he's got a lot of confidence in the players we've brought in here, a lot of young players that have certainly got bright futures in the game. I suppose it's your job and Mark's job to kind of unlock that potential and start to get them to perform on a consistent basis between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, and that's what the best teams do. Usually the teams at the top of the divisions are the most consistent, because anybody can beat anybody on the day. We go into a game on Saturday, which is obviously a very big game for both teams, and we need to make sure that we attack the game. But what I like about this club in particular is that it has an identity and it doesn't stray from that. Yes, it needs tweaking every now and then, and there's going to be different aspects to the game that we need to make sure that we're good at. But in general, again, you know, in my short spell here, it only backs up what I thought the club was. So really looking forward to getting my teeth into it. I see Mark as very similar to some of the managers I've worked for before, and I look forward to sort of supporting him on that journey.
You touched on the identity, and you know it's something the club has, you know, despite its young age, been known for over the years under different managers, is to play a certain way and attacking football, possession-based football. I suppose as a coach and someone who's played the game for like you have, that's what you want to do, isn't it? That's what you want to coach. That's what you want to encourage players to do, is get on the ball and express themselves. And you must relish the opportunity to do it at a club that really wants to push that.
Definitely, but first and foremost, it's about winning. Football, everybody likes to have an identity, but there's no good point having an identity if you're getting beat. So we need to make sure that that's at the forefront of our minds. But there's a way that I think we want to win. So we won't stray too far away from that. But the position that we find ourselves in, we need to pick up some points, and I've seen nothing to suggest that we can't do that.
And finally, you touched on it earlier in the interview, no rest, no time to bed in, straight into the thick of it. 3 games, 2 of them at home next week, but obviously that big game on Saturday against Forest Green first. Is that a good thing maybe, just to get thrown straight in and worry about games and get underway?
Listen, I've been sat at home for a long time, so the game's coming thick and fast, no problem to me. It's a good week to come into. We can make a real positive impact this week. The one good thing with this division and all of English football, really, part of the Premier League really, is you have game after game, so you can build momentum very quickly, and that's what we need to do.